And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering, and to conquer. Revelation 6:2.
The white horse can come looking like an angel, but actually it's deadly. And now we know that the white sugar is the white horse of conquest. And what is more conquest than sugar? It's destruction and conquest of the world. This white horse. And John of Ephesus, who wrote Revelations, at the same time he was writing this, sugar was being developed in Persia at the same time. And since that time it has spread throughout the entire world as conquest, responsible for the Black Death, killing millions and millions of people around the world. And the conquest today is the global sugar glut, as that sugar has now conquested the world, trapped everybody. And what we now know is that sugar has been paying scientists to twist their data and to blame others for the destruction that they do. Death by sugar, slavery by sugar, all the problems of sugar. And now we know that billions are dead from big sugar and big sugar drinks. Billions. If we want to know what is responsible for most of the damage on the planet today, white sugar is the horse of conquest. Big sugar has conquered the world like no other force. Nothing else could have been possibly more in the area of conquest than the ideas of big sugar. And that's what our friend saw when he wrote those words in Revelation. And now we know that sugar also weakens the immune system.
Her name is Pestilence.
Leads to pestilence.
And I
leads to a weakened immune system.
She was beautiful once.
Leads to disease.
When all was
leads to a host of other types of diseases.
She answers to a different lord now. A dark lord.
Evil big sugar. Billions dead. This sugar is addictive. It's insidious. It causes disease with every high. Big sugar, as it makes bacteria that take over your brain, make you crave more sugar. And big sugars use the clown, but now we can see into more what the evil heart of big sugar, the addictive agents, how its effect on children, and the addictive quality, and how it makes people fat. Here's a little bit of a cartoon about the Association of Fat People and their first meeting. And you see, Americans have become way too fat. People all around the world, way too fat. Because of sugar. Empty calories such as corn, potatoes, sugar. And this is an addictive compound that gets into the soul and produces an addiction. There's an addiction from the bacteria of the bowel that drives a insatiability. They cannot be satisfied. They just get so much comfort, and they eat and eat and eat and can't stop.
I love the way it makes me feel.
From the corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, sugar, etc., it all creates a problem. We have an obese society that is sick. And big sugar destroys the teeth. It's the darling of the dental industry. And that the dental industry depends on sugar to produce the tooth decay. And they actually use it as that big sugar, the dentist. Perfect. Parents, don't use sugar to drug your children. Sugar really is a drug. And Halloween candy, it makes disease, evil big sugar. Let's look what happens when we take away Halloween candy.
Daddy and I ate all of your candy.
What you are looking at is a drug reaction, or basically a reaction when you take away the addictive substance, the addictive drug. These temper tantrums, you see, Because what happens is the sugar makes a real high followed by a real low. So what we see is that these children go into temper tantrums. Sugar is not just an ordinary food. This has a drug response. When we give the sugar, you see it's followed, the high is then followed by a real low, and the low can last a long time. So what we see is these children have real incredible reactions beyond the norm. This is not a food. This is a drug response and an addiction response if you take away their addictive substance. Now what we also find is that there is bacteria that accumulates in the bowel from sugar. And the sugar-fed bacteria makes you crave the substance, makes you crave more of it. It's like an alien presence. And this is what happens. It takes over children's brains. It takes over their soul. It drives them into a frenzy. And then it produces obesity. It produces tooth decay, a host of diseases, immunosuppression. And a lot of this happens because it just is a craving for foods, that high and low and the bowel bacteria that create this. So we see that these children have problems. And this is where sugar has now conquered the world. And it causes diabetes, obesity, tooth decay, and a host of other things. We have to really recognize that this sugar is not a healthy substance for our children. It produces an incredible, insane reaction, an addiction that builds into other addictions very, very easily in an addictive society. Profit over people, and big sugar controls the politicians, controls the government, controls the public. Can anybody stop big sugar? Well, we need to get a grip on it. But there are certain kids able to resist. And if we start recognizing that fruit is our best sugar, maybe we'll get more and more of these good kids. And an apple a day does keep the doctor away. And all you have to do in your baking is just switch applesauce, fine grained applesauce for all the sugar. And you'll have a healthy alternative, just as tasty. If you want to learn more, go to imflix.com and subscribe.